Checking in with what's going on in Washington, Jon Keller sits down with Representative Lori Trahan.
Well, good morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Being in Congress these days is an especially difficult job with the level of partisan bitterness and all the controversy surrounding the White House. So let's check in on what's going on down there with one of two freshman members of the Massachusetts delegation, Representative Lori Trahan, a Lowell Democrat who represents the 3rd Congressional District. Representative, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me,
Good to have
John.
you back here. I think it's the first time we've talked since you've
taken my oath.
Taken the oath. Any second thoughts now?
No, I love the job.
Okay, all right. We'll check back in with you a couple of years down the road, see if you feel the same way. Listen, before we get into the issues, there is something that's been in the news I want to ask you about. 2 complaints have now been lodged against you over your use of personal funds to finance a loan to your campaign last year. They claim you failed to properly report them and may have used illegal donations. Your campaign has said you did nothing wrong, but I want to ask you, is there anything you want to say directly to your constituents about this?
I appreciate the question, and our campaign has been fully compliant with the regulations set forth by the FEC and with the Committee on Ethics. Look, any suggestion that I personally did not have the resources to make that loan to my campaign is completely inaccurate. And I look forward to filing my next report on May 15th, my financial disclosure, because that will give a complete view of 2018 and the resources that I had.
Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the continuing aftermath of the Merrimack Valley gas explosions. At least 15 lawsuits in Salem Superior Court. And earlier this month, you and Senator Markey filed a bill toughening the pipeline approval process and the fines for violations. Now, Columbia Gas claims they've already adopted most of that bill's safety provisions. Is that true?
Yeah, I think the NTSB launched their preliminary findings. Massachusetts was quick to change their exemption from having an authorized engineer sign off on these change orders of pipeline construction. And Columbia Gas has changed some of their processes as well. But this is to make sure that this never happens again in any state across the country. Because certainly this could have been avoided. And as we deliberate and talk about an infrastructure package, I want to make sure that pipeline safety is a part of that. This was a true disaster, and there are things that we can do legislatively to ensure that never happens again. Back home, right from the day we took office, we've been working with people on the ground, with family businesses, to make sure that their claims are getting processed in a timely manner, to make sure they're being made whole, to make sure ratepayers aren't experiencing any unnecessary hikes as a result of the cost of the aftermath. So we've been very busy working on behalf of the constituents in Lawrence and Andover.
Well, this happened back in September. Now that you've had all the intervening time to digest it and you've been monitoring the situation, you're as privy to the facts as anyone here, can you help explain to me the mindset of the gas company? Were they negligent in your view? Did they just not give a damn about the safety of their customers, or was this something less than that?
There were cost-cutting measures that I think all companies, go through. And there's a price to pay for those cost-cutting measures, and whether it's culturally, whether it's, you stop doing certain things the same way. And that's what happened here. What this legislation also does is it makes sure that there's an auto shutoff and a person there that can handle these overpressurizations in real time. And that's something that should have always been in place.
Yeah, we have to break, but does it disturb you that that wasn't done? I mean, why not do the right thing from the beginning instead of having to have a hammer brought down on you to do it?
Absolutely, and I think government is fulfilling its oversight role to ensure that no company can cut corners that can cause such harm.